what we know about his federal election interference case, the one that's going on in DC. Because as we talked about yesterday, Judge Tanya Chutkan, well, she wants to try this case ASAP. And also the prosecutors, they do too. They've requested a January 2nd trial date. That's January 2nd, 2024, which is a little less than 6 months from now. Well, of course, in response to their request, Trump's lawyers, they displayed a Trumpian level of audacity. They demanded a trial date of April 2026. Yeah, 2026. Here's their rationale. Trump's defense cited the enormity of discovery as one massive hurdle to a trial, saying the defense would need to review 99,000 pages per day to finish the government's initial production by December 11th. Its proposed date for jury selection, the equivalent of 78 copies of Tolstoy's War and Peace. In total, a tower of paper more than 8 times as tall as a Washington Monument if printed out and stacked. The government's proposal is flatly impossible, his attorney said. No defendant can reasonably review nearly 100,000 pages of discovery per day. And as someone who used to produce discovery and also review discovery, it can be done. Yeah, that's why you have attorneys reviewing documents and whatnot. But then again, we know that Trump's seen all the documents anyways, if not sold them. But I also find it to be quite ironic by virtue of the fact that, well, Trump has always been condemning these prosecutors for their dilatory nature and taking forever to bring these cases against him. Yet all of a sudden he wants to delay. Brian Tyler Cohen made that observation on Twitter. He had pointed out, Trump, why did prosecutors need to take 2.5 years to bring the Fulton County case to trial? And also, Trump, we're seeking an April 2026 trial date, 2.5 years from now. Yeah, it's cute. Well, we know that one of the reasons for prosecutors and the court wanting a trial date a lot sooner, well, because they know how Trump acts up, particularly in the media. So at the initial hearing last week, she warned, as in the judge warned Trump and his lawyers against out-of-court statements that could be seen as intimidating or harassing potential witnesses or prejudicing potential jurors, saying that she will take whatever measures are necessary to safeguard the integrity of the proceedings, and that the more inflammatory statements there are, the greater the urgency will be to go to trial. Judge Chutkan is absolutely on point. She wants to confirm the trial date at the next scheduled hearing, August 28th. That's about 10 days from now. And she has good reason to, because Trump is an absolute wild card. And so let's not delay the trial, allow him to continue to beef things up when this could be dealt with and dismissed as soon as possible. Last I checked, that whole justice delayed is justice denied thing, it still holds somewhat true. Brett, your thoughts?
But if you're a criminal defense lawyer, then justice delayed is business as usual. That's all you ever want, especially when your client is seeking the presidency of the United States. I think it's fascinating. I've had this conversation with John last week about like what date should they set the trial at? I mean, all these people, I love that you asked like a Republican in like 3 different instances whether there should be a speedy trial, and they'll be like, if it's an immigrant, now send them, don't even do the trial, send them back, they're all terrorists. But if it's your beloved president, it's like, well, let's not be too hasty about this.
No, you're absolutely spot on. They want to delay, also because people are gonna be worn out and tired in 2026. He may take the presidency, let's hope not. And of course, he wants the opportunity to quote unquote pardon himself. And all of these things that are completely and totally illogical and fearfully possible.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.